Hello, my name is Michael Conneely and this is part 2 of my Have a Prediction video. And in part 1 I gave you some case examples, a drop in the ocean of the many wonderful things that can be said when you have a prediction, an astrology prediction for your year ahead. Well, I thought I'd add this part 2, which says the techniques I'll be using. So basically, if you want to enroll for a prediction, you go to my starwheelastrology.com website, and there you can choose from 3 different levels. So basically sort of how long and with or without reports. But all my predictions combine Western with Vedic astrology. Western astrology is a depiction of our psychological self and our psychological unfoldment, vast and important, with maybe needs for healing, for understanding, and I mention things like psychosynthesis. But Vedic astrology is orientated to our destiny, to our incarnational life purpose, and so that's much broader than our psychological self. But we need to understand what's happening to both in our year ahead. So I thought I'd just summarise the sort of things that I cover in your prediction reading, and of course they're worldwide and you get the recording, and in the reports, if you opt for reports, you get the charts anyway. So basically, looking at Western astrology first, well, there's transits. So a transit is when a planet in the heavens forms an aspect to a planet in your birth chart, or where a planet in the heavens goes through a house in your birth chart, where each house is a different area of life. Now, just a tiny example, say Jupiter is going to transit through your 4th house from June or something. So I could say, well, you might well move house there. Or if you stay where you are, you will want to make your house a better and happier home for you, more right for you. You know, dig the garden, decorate or whatever. Honour the energy of Jupiter going through your 4th house. If Uranus is going to be transiting conjunct your Sun, expect total revolution. Things like that. They are transits. Well, the second phenomena is called progressions. So that's where a day in our life, the chart from where we're 1 day old, says something about what will happen in the year starting when we're 1 year old. And that's because there's a fixed mathematical ratio between the Earth's rotational period of a day and the Earth's orbital period of a year. And this progressions are very robust indicators of what will happen to you, what you will feel and experience in your year ahead. So, for example, if your progressed moon is entering your 7th house, you'll be orientated towards relationship and or relationships with the public at large. And if the progressed moon is entering your 12th house, will be advised you'll want a quieter life, you'll want to retreat, you might want to do inner healing. And of course the progressed moon aspects planets. So if your progressed moon hits Uranus, well, that's like the struck tower card in the tarot. You need to understand it. It's actually not to be frightened about. It's actually bringing you a catharsis, a revolution, a crisis, so as to make you dump all your blocks, tear up your tram lines and become more who you were born to be. Now, in part 1 video, I mentioned the 2 predictive age points of psychodynamic Western astrology, the individuation age point and the nodal age point. And these are very, very sound. The individuation age point tells you which part of your personality you might particularly be contacting in your year ahead, at what months. And the nodal age point will state the whispers of your soul to you from the astral. And the thing about Western psychodynamic astrology is that it uses magnificently accurate chart aspect shapes. So, for example, if I say to you that a particular planet is at the apex of a search figure, we'll then know that if that planet is activated by one of the age points, you will bring in a searching quality to your life. If your planets are arranged in a figure shape called a bathtub, well, that means you will sniff at life. And can I persuade you not to? But at least you've been advised that's a script coming up in the year ahead. Okay, so I tell you about these and you get a report if you've ordered the options, which include reports. Well, let's move on to Vedic astrology. Well, Vedic astrology uses the sidereal zodiac anchored to the stars, declaring our incarnational life purpose and our destiny. And basically, what could I say about it? Well, there's also a magnificent 27-sign lunar zodiac, the 27 nakshatras, which are peerless, incredibly ancient wisdom for describing the sort of person we are, our emotional self, our faults and our potentials. And we can use that perception to move from the lower manifestation to the more wise and divine and loving and forgiving manifestation. There's a wonderful Vedic astrology of love and relationships based on the nakshatras, the Ashtakuta system. It really is incredibly valuable. So it compares the nakshatra the man's moon falls in with the nakshatra the woman's moon falls in. And it can just say so much about the nature of the attraction between them, the nature of the relationship between them, whether they'll have shared purpose. All that can be brought in. And also what I'll include in your prediction for your year ahead is your dashas, your Vedic predictive periods. And they have sub-periods within them and sub-periods. So each period has a ruling planet. And what you can get from this is unbelievable. They are so accurate. It really is so valuable to know when there's a huge change to the whole thrust and backdrop of your life because you're changing dasha. You might have been in a dasha which was quite good for promotion and getting money and so forth, and suddenly you move into moon dasha, for example, and I'm using an example where moon is the atmakarika, the soul indicator, the indicator of a special feature of life that you need to get right this lifetime, that you perhaps didn't get right last lifetime. And when you move into an atmakarika dasha, your whole life will be scrambled. The divine purpose is to put you on path for your destiny now. But isn't it so valuable to know that this is coming up, to have a viewpoint about the nature of what you will really have to work with as your life suddenly sort of turns up on end. I also include tarot in all my astrology readings, by the way. And then we have the Vedic transit, where planets in the heavens go through the houses of the Vedic birth chart, and when they aspect the planets in the Vedic birth chart. And the last thing I'd mention that you get in a reading, but of course you can get much more, but these are the basics, is the Varshval chart, the solar return chart. Now, the solar return chart is the chart for the exact moment when the sun returns to the position he occupied when you were born. So you look at that Varshval chart and you can say so much for the emphasis of the year ahead. You can say you're going to have a tremendous emphasis on love this year. I won't go into the sort of technicalities. But the Varshval chart is always included in a prediction for your year ahead. So, go to my starwheelastrology.com website and enroll for a prediction for your year ahead. Thank you.